Hello everyone, we are going to talk about exception handling in Java. So what is the exception? That is the question is there, and how you are going to handle this exception in your Java programming. So when we talk about the exception, I have explained you all very well that exception, like, you're right. So see, it's very important. We should know about the exception in, especially in the when you write high level of programming. Okay, or you write any application, then exception handling is very much mandatory. Why we need exception handling, and what is the use of that? Already I have explained you in earlier class, but again, in brief, what I'll tell you, like you are writing some program, just consider this very simple thing. We are writing one program, division by division program. Write a program for division by 0 or anything, something like that. So what will happen? Anyone can write the program. Okay, I'll just write division program. So 2 by 3, 3 by 2, I'll get some answer. So what will happen when someone write 2 by 0? So what will happen in this case? What compiler will give the error? How I will the developer will get to know that what error is there into the program? So to handle such situation, we have come across something called exception. Okay, so these are the exception, right? 2 divided by 0. Okay, you have created an array, size is 10, you are storing 11 element. That is also file handling program you are writing, and suppose that file is not available. So also file not found. That is also one of the, this is also into exception handling. So these things need to be handled in programming. So that is actually exception. So unwanted event that interrupt the normal flow of program. So any unwanted event which is going to interrupt your flow of program, that is actually exception. So why an exception occurs? So what happened, where, why it is happening? Okay, so as I said, right, bad input data provided by users. So I have written division program and someone has given the input 2 divided by 0. So by users the input was not given correctly. Opening a non-existing file in your program, right? You are writing a program and you want to open a file. Okay, so suppose in another way, in your PC you are searching a file, some movie file. Okay, you remember that no, I have kept it, but when you search it is not existing, but you are still searching where is that file. So file is not existing and you are searching. So same way in programming also, when you write the file handling program, okay, that time you have to search the file, and the file is not created, it's not existing, and you're trying to search that file or trying to open that file. So this place exception will occurs. As I said, you have a certain arrays, you have 10 number, you are entering 11 number. Okay, so these are the situation where exception will occurs. Okay, so now what is exception handling? Okay, so when we talk about exception handling, so it is a mechanism to handle the runtime error. So further your normal flow of application can be maintained. So you are going to handle the runtime error. So as I said, right, user giving bad input. So what happened? The flow of the program, your application will be continued. So this is a mechanism where you are going to handle the runtime error. So that is your called as exception handling. Okay, so example of advan okay, advantage of exception handling, how it is there. Okay, so how it will be there, see, you are writing a statement 1, a statement 2, a statement 3, so many statement you have in the program. Okay, so what will happen, suddenly in a statement 5 you have an exception, but we don't know, we still continue a statement 6, 7, 8, 9, so 10. So as many statement you have in the program, you will be keep writing the statement. Okay, when you execute, suddenly will get the error at the statement 5. So what will happen when you get the exception at statement 5, your complete program of flow has stopped, it will not proceed to the further statement. So this is a situation where your exception is going to occur. So how to handle this situation? So to handle this, in Java they have defined some hierarchy for the exception classes. What are those exception classes? So it's all divided into the throwable, something called as throwable. In that you'll be having two, one is the exception, one is the error. Okay, when we talk about the exception, you can see here I have a IO exception, that is input output exception. Okay, SQL exception. Okay, so example which I said, right, you are writing a database query. Okay, you have written a program to execute the database program, but that database does not exist. So what will happen, you will get the SQL exception handling, class not found exception. So you will be not having that particular class and you are trying to import that class. Okay, so that is also comes under the exception. Next you have, in this another category, you have runtime exception. So what is the runtime exception? As I said, arithmetic exception. Okay, so in arithmetic exception, division by 0, null pointer exception, number format exception, index bounds exception. In index bound, again you have array index out of bound, a string index out of bounds exception. So you'll be having so many exception type. If you take a look in the textbook, you will get to know that there are several types of exceptions are available. So error also will be there, stack overflow, virtual machine error, out of memory, right? This, so these are the hierarchy of your Java exception classes. So this will give you the mechanism where you can handle your runtime error, okay, your exception, whatever you are getting in your Java program. Okay, so what are the types of exception you have? Just now we have seen. So generally you'll be having a checked exception. There is one checked, second one is unchecked exception. Okay, and the third one is you have error. Okay, as just we have seen that, right? So what is your checked exception? So checked exception will be your compile time. Okay, so when you are compiling the program, that time whatever the exception comes, those exceptions are called as checked exception. Okay, for example, SQL exception, input output exception, class not found. So what happened, you have written a program, this is the checked exception. So class not found exception, as I was discussing. Okay, so what happened, you are writing a program. Okay, you created one package and in that you want to create a one class, and that class is actually not available. Input output, so that is the exception. SQL, as already I said. So these types of exception called as comes into the category of checked exception, and it will, you will get the during the compile time. Okay, so these are the things: IO exception, SQL, and class not found. So the description is, if you take a look on the IO exception, that is while using input output stream related exception. Okay, when you take a look on SQL exception, that is the while executing queries on database related. Class not found, that is the thrown when a JVM cannot find a class which which needed, okay, because the command line error. So class path issues or any file missing, whatever so on. So the class you want to use, but the class you have given wrong path, you have given file is not there, dot class file is not there. So these are comes into the checked exception category. So what are the things comes into the unchecked? So unchecked exception will be your runtime exception, and that will be extends using runtime exception. Okay, so remember things. And unchecked exception are not checked at compile time. So remember one thing, unchecked you will not get the exception during your compile time, you will get only at runtime. Okay, so the exception which it's going to occur during the runtime, it comes into the category of unchecked exception, or it is called as unchecked exception. Example: arithmetic exception, null point exception, array index out of bounds exception, etc. There are so many unchecked exceptions are there. Okay, so what are the scenario where your arithmetic exception will occur? As I said you all, that if you are dividing a number, any number by 0, so obviously this is the arithmetic exception. Like you are writing in a program int a 50 by 0, what answer will get? So to specify in the program, we have to use this is the arithmetic exception. Okay, the null pointer exception. So where you will get the null pointer? So if you have any null value in the variable and you are performing the operation by the variable occurs on null pointer exception. So what is that example? Example is you have used s as a string and you are defining null value, but actually there should be some initialization should be there, right? So this is the null pointer exception. So when you write s dot length, okay, I have here what we have done, we have defined the s string as a null, but we are trying to calculate the length of the string. The length, there is nothing value, then how you are going to calculate? Multiplied by nothing is there, so how you will get the output? So that is your null pointer exception handling. Third scenario, array index of out of bound, right? So inserting any value in the wrong index, okay, so it will result you into the array index out of bounds exception. You can see guys, this is very important, you have to use the case sensitive. A should be capital, here I should be capital, here O, again O will caps, again B will be caps, again E will be. So array index out of bound exception. Okay, so see here what we have done, we have declared the array, okay, array size is 5, okay, and in that what we are doing, a of 10 is equal to 50. So when you declare like this, then you are getting the array index out of bound, okay, so it is 5 only, but you are telling a of 10 50, which is not possible. So this is the exception occurs into the array index out of bounds exception. Okay, so hierarchy already we have seen this about, okay, so you will be having object which will throw the error. So when we talk about general term about what is the exception and how it catch the error and it's so there is something mechanism called as catch and throw. Okay, so what will happen whenever exception will be caught in the program, so that will be catch. So if exception catched, then it will throw, that means error will be thrown. Where it will be thrown? It will be thrown to the catch block, okay, which will find what kind of exception it is. So that's what it is, object and throwable. So when it's throw, it will be cached by exception block, okay, and it will be accordingly, it will give you the result. Okay, so this is under this exception. Okay, So now when we talk about what are the keywords we are going to use into the exception handling mechanism. Okay, so these are the keywords already you have seen and you know also. So you are going to use try, then you are going to use catch, then you are going to use throw, you are going to use throws, you are going to use finally. So there are total 5 keyword which you have to use into the programming. Okay, so it depends on that, okay, how you are writing the program. Okay, so it's on basis of your practice only it will you will be understand. So two things will be definitely it will be there. What are the two things? That is the try and catch. This should be must. It will be there. So try block. So whatever the operation you are going to perform, that will be in the try block. When the error occurred, so whatever the error is going to occur, that will be in try blocks, and it will be thrown. So when it is thrown, so it will come to the catch block. So catch block, what will be having? It will be handle the exception. So whatever the exception will be there, it will be handled by the catch block. Okay, there is one more finally. So in a program you can have a number of try catch block, but only one finally block will be there. Remember one thing, you cannot have multiple finally block in one program. You can only one finally block will be there. You can have try catch multiple times. Okay, so throw keyword is used for throw an exception. Throws keyword is used to declare the exception. So remember there is a difference, throw and throws. So throw, that means it will throw an exception. Throws, that is the keyword will be used to declare the exception. It will not throw an exception, but it will specify that there may occur an exception in the method. So always used with the method signature. Okay, so whenever you want you can define it. Okay, and it will declare okay what kind of exception you are going to get it. So these are the 5 keywords which you are going to use in exception handling mechanism. Okay, so that's what we are talking about. Exception handling is done using 5 keywords. So try, catch, throw, throws and finally. So these are the 5 keywords you are going to use in any exception handling program. Okay, so what is the try block? So you know very well, right? So it is used to, it will be enclosed between the parenthesis and which will throw an exception, and it will be must within the method. So wherever you are defining the method, that should be try block should be within the method, and try block must be followed by either catch or finally block. So what I said, in a program catch block will be there. If you are not using catch block, if you can't see the catch block in any program, definitely there will be the finally block. Without this you cannot complete your exception handling program. There will be either anyone, either catch or finally block. So what happen if an exception occur at particular statement of try block? So you are writing the program where you are going to get the error in try block. The rest of code definitely it will not execute. So it is recommended not to keeping the code in try block that will not throw an exception. So you are going to only keep the code which giving the exception into try block. Other than that, don't keep those coding into the try block. This is the one thing. So what is the syntax? Syntax is very simple. Try, then you are going to write the code, that means which will throw an exception like division by 0. So whatever the exception is going to be happen, so you are going to write the code here. Okay, and then you will be having close the try block, then you will be having catch, then exception class name, and then a reference variable you have to define. So again for catch block, again opening and closing parenthesis will be there. This is the syntax for simple try and catch block. or you can write try. Same way, code whatever the coding which you are going to throw the exception, and then you will be having a finally keyword. Okay, so you can define in finally also. Okay, so now about the catch block. So what is the catch block? It is used to handle the exception and must used after the try block only. You should not define first catch block, then you should define the try block. That is not good practice. Okay, and that will not consider also. So better use first try then catch. And we can use multiple catch block with a single try. So only one try is there. You can n number of catch block you can define in program. Might be you have seen in any Java program. Okay, so let's see about one example. Okay, so I am creating one class, that is the test try catch 2. Whatever you want, you can create one class. Okay, with the class name. Define the main method. So in main method I am writing try block. I am writing int a is equal to 0. Okay, int b is equal to 10. So two variable we have declared with the integer. Okay, a and b, we have initialized the value also. Now what we are doing? We are dividing b division by a. So what is the b value? B value is 10 and a value is 0. That is 10 by 0. So system.out.println. So what else? This is not going to be print. So let's see what will happen for this case. Okay. Okay. So let's see that. So similar way, what you are going to do? Go to an Eclipse, create project, or if already you have created, just go to the source, right click, create new file. Okay, you can create the class also if you want. So whatever you want you can do directly. So I'll just create test try catch 2 dot, must specify the extension .java. Better I can write it. Okay, so better we'll write it, otherwise it will give the error. So we have to create a first class. Okay, so class name I have given here test try catch 2. Okay, see, the moment you write the syntax, now no error is coming. Earlier just only one line error was there. Okay, so what we are going to do in this, we have to first define the main method. So what I'll do, I'll define the main method. What is that? Public static void main. Public static void main string args. Okay. Okay. So now I have declared the main method. So what it says that in try, when you are going to declare the try block, so always the exception what is going to occur, that will be in try block. So I am going to write a program where division by 0. So try. Okay. So in try block what we have to give? We have to define int some variable. So I will be declaring int a is equal to 0. Okay. Then int b is equal to 10. Okay, and now you define the division int some data, or I will write as a div. Okay, int div is equal to b by a. Okay, okay, so this is try block. So we have to give some printing statement. So So guys, we'll continue with writing the program where we have the exception division by 0, and just I'm not going to use here any try and catch block. Let's see once execute what output we are going to get. So I'll be executing this program. Okay. So you can see here in error is coming as a exception in threads, that is the main program, that is java.lang.arithmetic exception. You can see here division by 0. So at this line number. So if you are not handling exception in your program, so what will happen? It will give the error. So the error should be thrown and should be catched by the catch block. So we must implement such exception into the try block, and there should be a catch block. You can define a number of catch also. So what I'll do, I'll add here try block here. Okay, so this is try block here. So still I am getting the error. Why? Because we have to add one catch block. So catch. So in catch block, what you are going to write, that is also important. Okay. So we can define something because so whatever you want you can write it here. So it's not like that, because catch block says that you have to catch the exception. So whatever the error has been thrown, that is the exception has been thrown, so catch block will catch. So what is this error? This is the arithmetic exception error. So what you have to do, you have to write the exception handling. So it is arithmetic exception. Okay, and you have to use the reference parameter. Okay, now for the catch block, again there will be the opening and closing brace are given. Okay, sorry, a spelling mistake. Okay, so arithmetic exception. Now in this statement you are going to print the error. What error we are going to get? So I'll use the printing statement and I'll just specify division by 0. Okay, so there is no error in the program. Now we'll save it and compile this program again. So I'll compile now. So you can see that we are not getting the output, that is the printing statement what we have given into the try block, because we got the error here and it will be thrown. So catch block is catching the exception, that is the arithmetic exception, and the printing statement will print the error, that is the division by 0. So this is the basic example where you can how you can use the try and catch block in a Java program. So now you have the multi-catch block. So you can use multiple catch block in the Java program also. So how you are going to use multiple catch block? So same way, just you can proceed with any program. So here you can see that I have demonstrated one demo one class, and in that you are just defining one array A, and you are giving A of 5 is equal to 30 by 0. So use the try block. Okay, so arithmetic exception handling, division by 0. Another, catch array index out of bond. Okay, so array index out of bond exception. Again catch exception. Okay, so common task completed, whatever you want to print. So this how you can see here I have used here multiple catch block statement. So let's use it, the multiple catch block, and let's see what the result we are going to get it. So let's see, now we'll execute the program and we'll see that. So even you can use this program or any program, whatever you want, you can do it. So I'll proceed with the previous program. So I have used this one. Okay, so what we'll do now, we'll define one more here. So okay, so division by 0. Now I'll use another int c is equal to, you are going to calculate the argument's length. Okay, so argument length. Okay, now you print this argument length. So I'll keep this at the top. Okay, so I will print this result first. So that will be c is equal to plus c. Okay, so this is one printing statement. Now what we'll do, I'll create one array int arr. Okay, and is equal to, we'll give some number like 45 division by number. So that is what is the argument length. So I'll give the argument length is c. So I'll give as a c, semicolon. Okay, so next what we are going to do, we'll write we'll create one array. So int okay, so guys, we'll continue with using multiple catch block in a program. So let's try with that. So similar way, just use the same class, main method, and a try block. In try block, we will define first, calculate the argument length, how much argument length is there. Okay, so I'll give as a, so obviously length will be in integer, so I'll give int a is equal to, so arg dot length. Okay, I'll print this result. A is equal to, okay, I have printed this result. Now I will be creating another integer variable which will divide some number with the argument length. So I'll use int b is equal to, so some number like 45 and divided by your argument length, that is a. Okay, this is done. Next what I'll do, I'll create one array. So with c, array created. Okay, and in this there will be only one element. Okay, Now what I'll do, I'll put it some 42 position, okay, some value, okay. So this is just, we have added some different types of operation, arithmetic operation, we have done it here. Now first we know that the catch block, that is the arithmetic exception handling. This is one catch block done, okay. Now I'll create another exception handling. You can write this catch block also in a different way. So division by 0, you can write here plus E. So because reference parameter you are using. Now I'll use the different catch block now. So let's use, so catch, okay. Now you have to use the exception handling. So what are the exception handling? Just in previous slide we have seen about array index of bound. So we have to write array index out of bonds exception. Okay, and you can use the same reference variable also, no problem. Okay, so now one catch block. So now again for this we have to give the one printing statement. So what is that? Array index out of bond. So array index out of bonds, okay. Now just will use the same reference parameter. This is two catch block we have used. So this is over. So this is for, so after this catch block also, if you want, you can give a printing, any printing statement after try catch block. So you will understand, okay, try catch block is over. So I'll give that. So I'll just give a printing statement after try or catch block, okay. That's all. I'll save the program. Now we'll execute this program and we'll see what output we are going to get. So you can see that a is equal to 0 because just we were trying to calculate the length, okay. So there is argument length is 0. Now what we have done, dividing any number with the 0, this is division by 0. So it will give you the one exception, that is the arithmetic exception handling. It will give you the division by 0.